Okay, welcome back. Episode 4 of the Challenge 36 Double Agents recap. Super excited. I was really shocked that we didn't get an episode last week. For some reason, they just were like, we're just going to skip a week because we can. I don't really know, but whatever. I'm super excited. This episode was very interesting. It was very chaotic near the end. Let me just tell you that. Okay, so last time, since it's been a while, Devin, he beat Wes. So Devin now has his gold skull alongside Natalie and Kyle. So now, basically, the first big thing that really happened was Devin, Kyle, Big T, and Amber M. They were all in the living room, and I don't know if it's just production's like editing or what, but basically, sorry, my hair is just like get back there. Big T, she kind of opens up part of like behind the nickname Big T, as you could probably imagine, that's not her real name. And basically she starts to open up. She's talking about things regarding how like I think it was her little brother died when she was like really young, and then a few years later I think it was her dad that died, and then a year later it was like her mom died or something like that. Basically a lot of her close, what's it called? Something relatives. I forgot what it's called. Immediate family. Like a lot of her immediate family, unfortunately, is no longer with her. And that's kind of part of why she ended up being like at the UK, because like in her culture, like adoption's not really much of a thing. And basically she ended up living a lot of, that's kind of how she also lived a lot of her life in the UK. And so it was really like, really deep and emotional, and I'm glad that Big T got some screen time. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of, screen time in regards to Big T, because her first season she got out pretty early, and the second time she only got out due to, her splitting her toe. So we just haven't, I feel like we haven't really seen much of her. We haven't gotten the chance to really know Big T that well. But with that being said, Devin basically sympathizes. I think that's the right word. I can't tell if it's sympathy or I think it's sympathy, because and I guess also empathizes there we go, empathizes with Big T, because if you don't know, Devin lost his father soon before he went on Final Reckoning, and that's pretty much why, like, if you go back and watch Final Reckoning, you notice that Bananas isn't with didn't have a partner at first and ended up having Tony as his partner. Well, originally it's going to be Devin and Bananas being partners, and then because Devin initially didn't go right away, and then they ended up being like this mercenary pair, so that's why Tony came in, which was a pretty good partner. I think either Tony or Devin, in terms of like they were actually like rivals / enemies, whatever you want to call it. But then that's why you notice like Devin and Corey, because Devin and Corey did have kind of a rivalry if you watch Dirty 30. But yeah, so that's why Devin wasn't on initially. Personally, I would have just not been on the season period, but I guess you never know if that could be your last challenge season, right? Regardless, it's weird because it goes from like Devin being like, yeah, I totally understand how you feel, like, you're being like this inspiration, I think about my father all the time, yada yada yada. And then for some reason out of nowhere it just goes to Devin being like, yo, Amber M, why are you here? What are you supposed to be here for? Or something like that. And then Amber M's like, I don't have to like, you know, prove myself to you. I don't need to give you a reason as to why I should be here or like why I deserve to be here, whatever. And there's just like this little fight between. It's so weird. I don't quite understand why this was the case, but okay. Sorry. But yeah, for whatever reason, there's just kind of like this fight that goes down, and because of that, you know, Amber M's like, I'm not leaving this room. Like, you can't, like, you know, I do whatever, yada yada yada. And then Devin ends up leaving, and then the next day, Amber M's talking to Corey and Nelson, being like, hey, so Devin was just being weird and saying all these things, being like, oh, you know, Dev was just like saying this and that to me. And so Nelson was like, you know, goes to Devin's bedroom and it's all like, yo, Devin, like, you know, like you shouldn't be on this power trip just because you won a gold skull, which I mean, that's true. I mean, you really shouldn't be. You really shouldn't be on any power trip period. That's just not going to help you out in the long run. But regardless, basically Nelson and Devin kind of have a fight because Nelson's like, yo, I'm gonna back up my partner here, like that's not okay of what you're saying to Amber M. Then we basically go into the daily challenge, which is drone control, and this was a very interesting challenge, but I kind of like it in the sense that even I could do a challenge like this, because a lot of challenges you're like, oh thank God, oh thank goodness I don't do that, because I would not do so well, or it would be like awful, like to deal with, whatever. But literally, one player is controlling this little toy control joystick thingy, and basically is controlling this drone that's flying around, and the other person's using like VR goggle thingies to basically know, you know, where the drone is going. And your job is to get your little drone to the screen with a binary code. You then memorize it, and then you would go back. You know, you would try to get the drone back to you, and then your other partner would then go look at this like key thing of like, okay, if the binary is like 0111, then it would be this digit, and so on. And then you'd figure out your 4 digits, and you then, you know, lock it in. And if it said access granted, then you were done, and you know your time would stop. And the team that did it the fastest would win. And I think this just goes to show, like, it was so funny, but every team could not do it. Their drone kept crashing except for Devin and Tori's. They were the only team that I don't know if they're like the youngest. I feel like they're not, maybe, but their drone survived, and Devin cracked the code, and Devin and Tori are automatically the double agents. So they have power now. So I guess Devin is going to be more on the power trip, unfortunately. I mean, unless you're a Devin fan, then kudos to you. But yeah. But basically, what ends up happening after this daily challenge was, oh my God, there's just so many things. Actually, I don't even know where to begin. I kind of got a little lost in all of it. I'm gonna have to rewatch it back because I was confused. Out of nowhere, it shows Teresa talking to Jay, being like, you can't really trust many people or something like that. I don't know. At least Teresa's getting some screen time, because I was like, where's she, you know, in this? And then for some reason, Josh feels like he can't trust Jay because I guess Jay is not taking this bold stance on, yes, let's send Devin out, like screw him, yada yada yada. So that's kind of annoying. And basically Jay's being like, yo, you can't like like mess with me. Like I'm not like these other guys that you can mess around with and try to punk and whatever. So they have a fight. I think this is more of just Josh trying to get that screen time that he desperately wants. It's pretty much the only way that he can have a chance of being cast for future seasons at this point. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, but what can you do, I guess? With that being said, however, everybody's going to like this, going back to what I'm going to call it now, the party dome. Basically, it's this dome thing that they clearly are making to be almost like this club. It kind of gives me like a high class like dance. You know what I mean? Like it, like for example, where I went to middle school, our dance was like in the cafeteria, but it was like kind of blackout, had a lot of good lights, a lot of, it was pretty cool. I feel like it was almost giving this vibe, except it wasn't so much blackout. It was more so like this pink lights going everywhere. This like, what is it, like LED, whatever the case may be, neon stuff. But yeah, I like to call it the party dome because it's like they're all partying in like this big dome. So they go in the party dome. I hope that catches on that term, but no one's watching, but it's okay. But this party dome, they're all dancing, have a good time. Tori and Devin are talking because they won, but they have different agendas. Tori wants to go in, but Devin doesn't. So what the heck is going on, and they don't know if it's going to be a guy or a girl stay because before the challenge, Liv was officially, medically disqualified from the challenge. So for some reason, Nicole Z got hurt worse than Liv, but Nicole got hurt worse than Liv, so they weren't too sure about Liv, but Liv was definitely not able to continue. So Liv unfortunately is medically evacuated alongside Nicole, so that's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, because I liked Liv. I thought Liv was pretty cool. Hopefully we'll see her again. But yeah, Michi didn't even compete in today's daily because he had no partner. But yeah, Devin and Tori, they're thinking, what do we do? Like maybe we should talk about which pairs we can save, and all this stuff. And Tori is, wanting to save Nani and Josh as one of the pairs to be safe, but Devin's like, no, you already picked 3 pairs, because they had this thing where they were like, okay, let's list 3 different pairs that we're not going to say to go in. So Josh and Nani was one that didn't make either list, but Tori was like, let's take them off the table, and Devin's like, no, we're not going to do it. Because obviously Devin and Josh, they don't have a good relationship. They hate each other now. I don't know why, but I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. I'm so ready for one of them to leave. Just one of them, please. Just go in there and lose. But I don't know. If I had to make a guess, I guess Devin might just avoid every other elimination, and I guess maybe Josh, if it's like his other 3 seasons, he might lose. I don't know yet. I don't really keep up with like the spoilers, so I have no clue. Like I genuinely have no clue, but that would be my guess. But there's always, but yeah, they keep talking, and we pretty much then go into the deliberation. So Jay and Teresa are on the table in terms of like who should go in. I guess because of the Josh and Jay situation of them fighting, although I don't know. It just seemed kind of random in terms of like other people considering it and voting them in. I just don't quite get it, but I don't know. But basically, Amber, M, and Nelson are also a target because they're thinking, well, Amber M would be an easy gold skull for the season. So That's why they're a pair. Like that's why they're a possible target and like an option in terms of the voting. So when it comes to the votes, as of right now, I mean, not all the votes are officially confirmed, but for right now, Amber Emma Nelson, they get compromised. They have the majority of the votes. So they're going in. So now it then becomes a question of, is it actually a girl or a guy's day? Everybody knows in the crater that it is for sure a hall brawl. I think it's pretty obvious whenever it's a hall brawl because, you know, it has the hall. You can't really hide it. It's kind of, I think it'd be kind of hard to do that. But yeah, it's very clear that it's a hall brawl. Now, Josh is wanting to go in because he thinks that he thinks in general that's like one of his strengths, and that would be an elimination that he actually could win. But once it gets confirmed by TJ that it's Amber Emma Nelson, you know, Josh is wanting to, you know, he's really being like, Tori, vote me in. I want to go in. And Tori and Devin, they don't know what's going to happen in terms of girls or guys day. But TJ's like, well, you can't know. You have to, as an agent, you have to be prepared for anything or be prepared for nothing. So Devin and Tori talk about it, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna pass this up. So they have to talk about who they're gonna vote in. Josh is wanting to go in. Josh is very confident that it's a guy's day, and so do a lot of people. I mean, I personally don't know why you would think it's a girl's day, because 3 girls are already gone now, and 2 guys. Like, even though 2 of them have been medically evacuated, there's still going to be they still need to keep it even. Who are you yawning this early? Okay. But anyway, we then go into we get Tori and Devin to vote a pair. And at the last second, it seemed like a fast one. I didn't even notice it right away. But Fessy, out of nowhere, is like, Tori, put me in. Because I think Anissa and Fessy were closer to Tori and Devin. So they were able to be like, you know, whisper. So Fessy, out of nowhere, is all like, put me in. Let me go in. And lo and behold, Anissa and Fessy actually go into this elimination against Amber Emma Nelson. And lo and behold, it turns out it's a guy's day. So Fessy not only pulled a fast one, just in general, but, you know, Fessy ends up going up against his buddy Nelson. And I don't know, I would have to go back and check, but I don't really know if Tori did it with the intention of, oh, Anissa could easily beat Amber, or if Tori is like, well, I guess it must be a guy's day. Let me make a move, and, you know, if Fessy wants to go in, why not, you know, give him the chance and, you know, fulfill his wish. I'm not really quite sure, but regardless, Fessy and Nelson go up. Nelson's shocked. A lot of people are shocked because they're like, why Anissa and Fessy? It just seemed very out of the blue. People were thinking it might be Josh or maybe Jay. But nope, it ends up being Anissa and Fessy against Amber Emma Nelson. Or Fessy against Nelson in this case, I should say. Sorry about that. And yeah, like as you would expect, it's a typical hall brawl, except instead of ringing a bell, you have to push a button. But basically the same thing. Fessy and Nelson, it gets really scrappy. It gets really, really dirty, really brutal. You know, even though Fessy, you know, plays football and, you know, is definitely a much bigger, taller guy, Fessy, you know, Nelson, he puts up a great fight against Fessy. First round was very close, but Fessy ends up getting the first point, and the second point, Fessy wins again. So Fessy has won the 4th crater and his 1 is Gold Skull. Fessy's not qualified to run the final, y'all. Fessy has it, you know? I guess giving up those first 2 times didn't really matter because he won. And yeah, he's qualified now to run the final. Against Devin, Kyle, and I guess technically Natalie, depending on how the finals formatted. But yeah, Fessy, oh my god. Which sucks because Nelson and Corey are very betrayed and very blindsided because they're like, what the heck, Fessy? Like, thought we were like friends. Why would you go up against me and try to get me out? So, yeah, oh my god. I'm just really shocked. I really am. I did not see that coming whatsoever. But anyway, Fessy, because he just won, not only is he qualified to run the final, but now he has the choice. Is he going to stick with Anissa or infiltrate and steal someone else's partner? Well, Fessy goes on to say something about like Anissa deserves a better partner, or Anissa deserves a good partner, like she doesn't deserve a bad one, yada yada yada. And he goes and steals Casey from Leroy. So Casey and Fessy, Team Big Brother, I guess, they are now a pair. So then Leroy gets to choose between Amber M or Anissa. He chooses Anissa. Anissa being a vet. I probably would have done the same thing. So good job, Leroy. But I think that's kind of an obvious choice in general. But then, oh yeah, so now Michi by default is with Amber M, which they're the smallest guy and girl, it seems, in the house. So that's going to be a very interesting pair. But, you know, in some challenges, though, they could definitely dominate if being small is like something you want. You know, if the challenge favors smaller people, then it's going to be really helpful. But yeah, those are the new pairs. So not only did Fessy betray so many people, blindside so many people. Not only did Fessy blindside so many people, he betrayed 2 of his friends, sent one of them home, and now is paired up with another Big Brother player, and now Anissa's stuck with Leroy. I mean, Leroy's a good partner, so I mean, it's pretty good. And I mean, Fessy, it seemed like he didn't like. I feel like in the back of his mind, he was still like, about Anissa, even though they won 2 dailies back to back. It was just kind of like, you know, they were just like, I can't be with Anissa the whole time. But, you know, it is what it is. The thing is that I think Fessy's going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't really know what's going to happen with Fessy. I mean, he probably could still make the final in general because, I mean, you're most likely going to keep sending in more people that don't have a gold skull yet. But, I mean, it's just crazy that Fessy did that. I feel bad for Nelson. Not the biggest Nelson fan, but I could understand why he was so hurt. So, and I don't know if that's going to help Fessy in the long run. If Fessy wants to be on more than 2 seasons, probably wasn't smart to go after Nelson like that. So I feel like there's sometimes where betraying an ally isn't always the best scenario, especially because if you know they've been on for a fair amount, you probably shouldn't immediately betray someone right off the bat, especially because next season they could just come and, you know, make your life in the challenge house really short. So, yeah, I mean, I guess now that hopefully there's no more med evacuations, now it should be a girls' elimination. About time. I was missing, you know, Ashley and Natalie, so it's like, okay, we need more. I will say though, it is a little bit interesting that they're still not. It seems I don't know. It just seems like they're kind of almost done with the whole winners thing. Like Wes got taken out. because of the house. Yeah, right. The house voted Weston, right? Or no, sorry, Leroy and Casey were like, we're gonna send Weston because Wes is champ and Wes is gonna be a big threat, and also because Wes is close with Devin. But now that Ashley and Wes are gone, for some reason CT and Darrell, they haven't been touched yet, which is very interesting. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm fine with those two. It's just very like, how come? You know what I mean? It's just like, why did you not? Why not worry about them? Like they should have been considered, but instead they didn't. They haven't been for a while. Darrell hasn't. Sorry, been sent to the crater yet, so I don't really know. But yeah, next challenge is called Agent Down, the daily challenge, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's the one where like it looks like the girls are holding on to their guy partners for dear life, and at some point they let go. I don't know if it's just pure endurance or if there's another element to it. So we'll have to find out and see. I've been really curious to see, how that episode's going to be. I, for some reason, thought it was going to be much later in the season, not in episode 5, but I'm not complaining. And Josh is, or no, Corey is being like, Fessy, like, how am I supposed to trust you, or whatever in the next on premiere. And then Josh is, I think he's calling Fessy, I think he was calling Fessy scared, and then Fessy's like, you're scared every season, which that's true. So I guess now it's a question of, what's going to happen next? Who is going to be the next double agents? Who is going to be sent into the crater? Oh, I'm so tired today. I feel like I haven't really done anything that like exhausting. I don't really know. But yeah, I'm super excited for the next episode. I really want to see what's going to happen. I'm totally excited to see, hopefully, a woman's elimination this time around. In terms of, I mean, I don't really know who I'd want to. I don't really have anyone in mind at the moment of like who I would love to see go, because a lot of people that I'm like not a huge fan of are like guys. So, I guess we'll have to wait for episode 6. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty exciting episode, very chaotic, very wild, based on the title, because Fessy was, he just cannot be tamed. I feel like the only normal Big Brother people are Amber B, Casey, who was the other one? There was another Big Brother that I don't remember who. I think it might be just them. Amber M. Yeah. Amber M and Casey seem to be like the only normal, because Lolo was a little much. But yeah, so I don't know. And out of the 2 people I'm saying that are like normal or sane or whatever, I'm clearly going to root for Amber B more. So Amber B, hopefully you can go in maybe even tonight, or not tonight, a week from now, get that gold skull and come back. Rooting for you. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this live stream recap. What do you guys think? Is there anyone that you're rooting for? Any predictions, without spoilers, of course? Any predictions? Are you looking forward to the daily challenge? Or are you looking forward to it? It should be a woman's elimination, so you're looking forward to that. Be sure to let me know in the live stream chat or in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this live stream as well. Don't forget to share this live stream. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that we can get notified every time I post a new video. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media links down below. And that is going to be the end of this live stream. And I will see you Masters later. Goodbye.